the Black Lives Matter movement, which is such a great movement to get behind. What I want to know,
Thank
in
you.
your opinion, why was the death of George Floyd such a big? Why was it so controversial, and why do you think that to this day people are still trying to defend the police officer's actions?
Ooh, you guys are coming in with the a lot of questions. So I would say the reason that it's such a big difference this time is that there's like almost no other end to see things from. They tried to, throw dirt on Mike Brown's name by saying he stole, I think it was a beer from a store like 2 weeks prior to him being murdered by that cop, but there was no correlation in that. But this time, other than people trying to say that he was on drugs and whatnot, there's still like no reason to execute somebody in the way that officer executed him. So being that it's so public, I think it made people realize, you know what, like there's actually a problem here. And it's kind of crazy because I would have thought we would have had this kind of uprising after like maybe Tamir Rice, who was the 12-year-old boy who got shot for having a toy gun. But then a lot of people try to blame, the pressure of a kid having a gun possibly and stuff. So I think there's just a lot less excuses, and that's the difference this time.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. What I want to touch about now is who inspires you to write your music? Who's the biggest influence in the music that you create?
I would say, well, I would say God, because like I don't really like being inspired by too many people around me. There are people that I listen to, like Lupe Fiasco, Eminem, Kanye West, Zed, My Chemical Romance. Like, there's a lot of people that I listen to. But I think when I get in the booth, I try to block out all of the inspiration. That there are a couple of different people that I listen to, but as far as inspiration goes, I kind of just go in the booth and do what I feel like making,
Yeah. Just touching on the whole, George Floyd, and of course, he's not the only one. It happens every day in America, them kind of situations. We're from the UK, so we don't have a gun problem. From your perspective, from someone who is from the US, what is your opinion on people being able to buy guns regularly? And here literally farmers only or SWAT team that's it for guns here. So from your perspective, what is it? Do you feel like it should be the same in England where you just can't, it's not an option anymore?
Okay, so the human side of me that, let's say, has no knowledge, just stepped into this world and just sees the way things are and just thinks, wow, a lot of things would be better if guns just go away. I get that sentiment. But the thing is, we're at a time where things have changed so much that, like, you're pretty much asking if everyone in the government knows Taekwondo, then shouldn't all of the citizens know Taekwondo just in case the government gets corrupted? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sadly, Taekwondo in this case is guns. So I feel like every American should have the right to protect themselves. And I feel like mass shootings is such an issue in America that maybe if people had more guns when a mass shooting is about to happen, somebody can like stop that mass shooter from mass shooting.
Right.
So there's a lot of defense that goes into it. And I guess I can, like, people outside of the country may not understand that. Maybe I only get it because I'm an American. But I think we all have a right to defend ourselves, and we clearly have a really screwed up government, a really screwed up system, and we need to be able to defend ourselves against it.
Yeah,
it's the same reason why George Bush and a couple of other people left England, because they felt the government was corrupted and they needed to defend themselves. So I mean, of course, they pillaged a whole nother land, and that was like the messed up part. But could you blame us for wanting to take the American way of defending ourselves?
Yeah, no, that's true. Want to touch on, of course, your music, which is very good. Your song "Good Night" on YouTube alone has over 200,000 views, which for you as well, you find crazy. When you was making that song, do you have any kind of hint or idea? You'd be like, oh yeah, this will bang.
Not at all. Actually, when I first made the song, I literally just I like the beat, but I was like, I don't know what kind of song this is going to end up being. So I just literally, oh snap, it is at 200,000 views. I had to see that for myself. I didn't see that. Yeah, so I went in the booth and I was actually like really freaking upset and like felt defeated and shit and felt like things weren't going to work out. And that call that you hear at the beginning of the song is kind of what inspired that first verse.
Right.
Because I didn't record the call. My friend said that you know, either you going roll with the punches or not. And when he said that, I said, hold on. That was like mad inspiring. Can you send me just the audio of you saying that? And he sent it to me and I was like, all right, cool. And then I freestyled that whole verse because I just had like this fed up feeling like of like I'm just fed up with the world kicking me down. Like I need to get back up and just, you know, regain my power.
Yeah.
So after that, I really liked it. And it was just the first verse. There was no hook. It literally ended right as the first verse ended. And so I had put it part of this little like throwaway that I was dropping called We Got Rich. And it's at the very end of the song.
Oh, okay.
And people like well received it. It was like, yo, that second half though. And I was like, you know what, maybe I should finally finish that song. So then I hopped in the booth. I was stuck with the beat and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? What do I do? Oh, sorry if I can't curse. Can I curse?
Yeah, you can swear, man. It's fine.
Okay, cool. But I was like, what can I do? And that breakdown comes in and I'm like, what do I? And then I was just in the studio and I just started humming. Oh, yeah. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to hum a bunch of different notes and see what comes out of it. And then I had the breakdown and I was like, you know what? That sounds really good. And I was like, maybe I should just come and rapping back here. I was like, nah, this is turning into something. This song needs a hook. So the longest thing that it was hard to come up with was probably the chorus because all I had was good night. And that's I knew the melody, but I could not come up with the words. And I was stuck in between. Do I really want to do something that really means something, or do I want to keep it simple and make it easy to relate to? So I chose the latter. And then, yeah, I'm talking about like the whole process. I doubt that's like what you guys are asking.
No, that's fine.
Well, yeah. So then the second verse, the first verse was such a banger to me that I was like, all right, I have to go like super duper hard on the second verse. And that's what took me a lot more time. Although like most of it was freestyle, the only part that wasn't was the written part. I mean the fast part.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That was it.
It's good, man.
I want to talk about your album, which is Trust the Weird Kids. And if people haven't already seen it, they definitely should go download it right now. What was your favorite song to make on that album? What one meant the most to you?
I would say They're Scared was my favorite to make. Although, thank you. There's not one instrument in that song at all. Everything is coming from my voice. It's all a cappella. So it was just layers and layers and layers of harmony. And I felt like I was tuning into a different side of myself with that record. So that was extremely fun. But the funny thing is, like, the record had crashed. Like, I was almost done with the song and crashed. The file was completely corrupted. I had nothing, and I had to remake the song all over again. And that song was just close to not being remade because I felt like I couldn't match the same feeling as the original, but it ended up still coming out pretty good. So,
yeah.
Do you think that obviously you put all your music onto YouTube, and obviously it's now on Spotify and SoundCloud, but coming up and starting up, do you think that YouTube's a great place for an up and coming artist to start rather than trying to initially go for a label and try and get a label through going through YouTube? Or what's your opinion on the best way to get your music out?
So, I mean, that's kind of like asking what's the best job to have. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it depends on who you are, where you are, what you want to do. Like I've been rapping, like my first mixtape dropped when I was 17, right? And I would say I really started my career about 3 or 4 years ago. That's when I quit my job and decided to fully do music.
Right.
And just this year, I started blowing up on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I never would have thought that YouTube would be the way to go and stuff, but I snuck into this community and I just got an immense amount of love, more than I've gotten from any other community in rap. So could I say YouTube is a great place? Yes and no, because I know people who have been rapping on YouTube specifically for many, many years, and it's not rising. So I guess it depends on the fan base, but try to get your shit everywhere you can.
Yeah, that's true. For me, whoever we talk to, I always like to definitely get to know them on a bit of a personal level. So what I wanted to ask you was, you're from New Jersey, of course. So what it's like where you grew up and where you're from, what the actual place is like?
Okay, so I grew up in a suburb kind of area, but I'm only like one town away from the hood. so so it's like what is it like one town? Yeah, it depends on where you're going. I'm about like one or two towns from the hood. So I feel very blessed to be in a situation that I'm in because I feel like if I grew up completely in the suburbs without any like idea of what's going on out there, I would be like a snobby asshole and my music wouldn't have as much soul as it does and as much pain as it does.
Right.
So I grew up into a family where all of my immediate family, as in my mother, grandmother, uncle, and that's it, lived in Montclair for a while, which is the suburb. But everybody in my family, literally, I have no family in Montclair. Like all of my other family is from Newark and East Orange, which is, I would say, the hood area. So a lot of my time spent being babysitted and hanging out with like cousins and stuff was spent in Newark and East Orange. So it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about what's going on, about how people are mistreated, about the differences in economies. It taught me about classism, racism, many different things. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We recently filmed with King Blitz. We spoke to him a little bit about the Cypher 3 that you both were on. And what I want to ask you about that was, for you on a personal level, what's it like when you're getting a call saying, do you want to be part of this? And you know it's going to be a big deal on YouTube with everyone on there. So what's that for like for you personally?
Crypt actually hit me up to be on that maybe about, well, now probably exactly like a year ago.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I was like not in the YouTube community at all. But I love that it didn't come out until when it came out because it kind of solidified me instead of just like saying, oh, this is the new guy on the scene, because the Poppin' Cypher had already happened.
Yeah,
there were already a bunch of people like checking for me. Then when they saw me on that, they're like, oh, this dude just won't quit, instead of, oh, this guy just got here, let's see how he handles it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was an amazing call to get, and I felt blessed, thank God. And, thank God for Crip too, because that dude is just forever giving. And what I love about him is if he sees talent, he'll support it. It's not really about like friendship and politics and all of that. If he sees talent there, he will support it.
Yeah, there was a lot of you there recently, right? At Crip's house. That looked mad. I don't even want to know what went on there, but I mean, I saw all the rapping. The rapping looked good. It sounded all good, but I bet you guys had a good night there.
Yeah, no, it was very fun. We were there for about 2-3 days. And his mom makes great food, and it felt very family oriented.
Sorry, King Blitz actually mentioned Crip's mum as well, which is weird.
Yeah.
He said that he was like, yeah, we're like best friends. I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah, no, Crip's mom is like, yo, she's so cool, yo. She's like, I don't know her age or anything, but she's like literally like one of us. Like, she's just super cool and down to earth, and you don't even feel like an age difference. I don't even feel like she's from Kentucky. She's a Southern white woman, and I don't think about race when I'm talking to her. She's just like super transparent with everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
What I want to ask you is, who are your top 3 rappers of all time, if you could pick 3? And this is lyricism, and the impact that they had on your music as well.
Lupe Fiasco, Eminem, Jay-Z. Now,
you guys love you and King both brought up Jay-Z.
It's funny. I think Jay-Z is actually like number 5 in my top 5. But if I had to break it down to just 3 people, I have to put Jay-Z there because, well, I chose Lupe Fiasco, Jay-Z, and Eminem because Eminem is flows and rhyming. Lupe Fiasco is storytelling and intricacy, while Jay-Z is like flashy metaphors. So I feel like those are 3 very important parts of hip hop that every MC should have.
Yeah. So is Eminem, is he 3rd, 2nd, or 1st for you then?
He's 2nd.
2nd. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Jay-Z was 3rd, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I got the order now.
How much of an impact did being on the Cypher do for you? First of all, for your name, and second of all, for getting you out there. I know you said that. For me, being on a YouTube Cypher is like being certified by Crypt. And if people see that, they know that you're talented, you're in the top league of the YouTube rappers. So how did that impact your career and your following on social media?
Well, I already had 11,000 followers on Instagram, and I already had like 30,000 followers on Spotify. And being on the Cypher brought a lot of interest to my name. But here's the thing: you can have an opportunity like that. You can have promotion, right?
Right.
But if you don't, it's like an alley oop. You can have the ball passed to you in midair, but if you don't dunk it, it's just gonna fall out of place, and it's gonna be like, oh, that could have been a nice shot. Cool, we're moving on. People don't care anymore. But I made sure that Goodnight dropped on the day that the third Cypher dropped. And that made everybody pay attention and say, like, oh, this is this guy, and he just dropped this. Let me check this out, and let me check more of his stuff out. And I think me capitalizing off of that made it so I doubled my numbers. So, yeah.
What I was going to say for you as well, I'm not sure if you're fully aware, but you do have a big following in the UK. A lot of people do talk about it. Do you think, I mean, I'm sure you'd hope to come here, but do you plan to maybe, you know, when everything's good?
Most definitely. As soon as things get better, you know, with the pandemic and stuff,
right?
I'm trying. Like, honestly, that's one of my biggest goals in my career. I spat a verse once that said, Jersey out to London, but my tunes and my cousin, Savage Family, we be bugging you, aim at me, then we busting. And I was just like, always felt like I was supposed to go to the UK. Like, that's just, it's one of my biggest dreams. So the second I get enough fans in one accumulated area to do a show there, I'm with it. Yeah.
I'm not sure about one area, but across the UK, you are seriously spoken about a lot here, especially in recent months for sure.
Wait, I'm sorry. One more time. I was
saying I'm not sure about a certain spot, but over the UK, you are spoken about a lot, especially over the last couple of months. Definitely. Leading on that, I know. For you personally, you said about Impact and the, you know, idols, rap idols, etc. And we spoke about mainstream YouTube. For you, what differs from someone being the category of a YouTube rapper or a mainstream rapper, or are you one? Because some people don't believe in the phrase YouTube rapper. Some people just don't believe that's a thing. So, what's your opinion on that?
Okay, so to me, it depends on where you started.
Right.
Now, I have two different opinions. I know people who have literally started on YouTube and uploaded every single thing they've done to YouTube and have done a bunch of different reactions and prank videos and content. They base their content on YouTube. And I think that's kind of a YouTube rapper. Me, I've only done 2 reactions, and they both been to something that I was part of. So it was more so like something like content for my fans.
Right.
And I did one interview, and that was just pretty much to, like, you know, put my homie on because I felt like his album was really good and deserved some more attention. So I don't know if I'm really a YouTube rapper. I feel like there are some YouTube rappers that are so dope that I would be honored to be mentioned in this community.
Right.
Because you guys, well, not you specifically, but speaking to the YouTube rappers out there, you guys take your stuff super seriously. You're super lyrical, and it's really dope. But I was just on a SoundCloud Cypher yesterday.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So what I'm saying is, like, it depends on that, and I could be anywhere. People can call me any kind of rapper. I would say my biggest numbers on Spotify.
Yeah.
Somebody can say I'm a Spotify rapper.
True. Yeah. I've just realized I actually now you said that, I actually have listened to your SoundCloud Cypher. I just realized.
Yeah.
Future. Do you think there could possibly be a song with you and Dax?
All right. So here's the thing. I rock with Dax. I've always, like, looked at him and said, you are where I have to be. My competition. You know what I'm saying? I've even, like, mentioned his name on, like, 2 different freestyles, like, on some, like, yo, come on, like, I'm here, like, you know. And he's acknowledged me. He's DM'd me before we talked, but we never had, like, a down-to-earth conversation.
Right.
And I don't know how to ask him for a feature because I know that he is a business. He is worth a lot, money-wise.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he would charge me or not. But my goal is to get to the level that he is on, so I don't have to be charged for anything. He's just like, he just rocks with me. I want an organic situation where he just wants to make music for me, and makes music with me, and I'm not paying him to just hop on my song. You know what I'm saying?
In fact, I do have one more thing. Sorry, that wasn't the last one. The last one from me would be, in 5 years from now, where do you think we and fans can expect you to be?
I think you guys, God willing, can expect me to be one of the biggest artists in the world.
Good goal.
That's the highest hopes.
It's a great goal, man.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us today. Huge respect to you as well. And good luck for the future. And hopefully we can speak to you again sometime.
Hey, you got it, man. You guys are great at what you do.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you for coming on.
You got
Cheers,
it.
man.
Peace and love.
Thank you.